What if I told you, the US government admitted Area 51 exists, but only after decades of denial? What if the truth wasn't about aliens, but about something far more powerful, and far more secret? In the middle of the Nevada desert lies a place so restricted that even today, you can't get within miles of its gates without armed security warning you to turn back. For years, officials said it wasn't real. No base. No projects. No secrets. But then in 2013, declassified documents quietly confirmed it. So here's the question no one asks. If they lied about its existence, what else did they lie about? Tonight, we open the forgotten files. And what we found inside Area 51 might surprise you. The base that didn't exist. Area 51 sits inside the Nevada Test and Training Range, about 83 miles north of Las Vegas. It was built in 1955 during one of the most paranoid periods in American history, the Cold War. The Soviet Union had nuclear weapons. America needed eyes in the sky. Enter the CIA. Under the direction of President Dwight D. Eisenhower, the CIA began a top-secret program to build a spy plane that could fly higher than any aircraft in the world. The project was called the U-2. And the man leading its development? A brilliant but secretive engineer named Kelly Johnson from Lockheed Skunk Works. They needed a place no one would find. They chose a dry lake bed called Groom Lake. Isolated. Empty. Silent. The CIA referred to it simply as the ranch. Workers flown in on unmarked planes were told nothing. Mail was censored. Families didn't know where their loved ones worked. If you talked, you disappeared from the program. And then something strange started happening. In the late 1950s, commercial pilots began reporting unidentified flying objects over Nevada. Silver shapes. Impossible speeds. Extreme altitudes. Newspapers picked it up. The public whispered, aliens. But here's the truth most people didn't know. The U-2 spy plane flew higher than any aircraft at the time, above 60,000 feet. Commercial pilots had never seen anything that high before. So when they spotted one, it looked otherworldly. The CIA later admitted that over half of UFO sightings in the late 1950s and 60s were actually test flights from Area 51. Think about that. The government didn't confirm this until decades later. Instead, they allowed alien rumors to grow. Because believing in aliens was safer. Then revealing America's spy technology to the Soviets. And that was just the beginning. Because after the U-2 came something even more advanced. Something designed not just to spy, but to disappear from radar entirely. In the 1970s and 80s, strange triangular craft were seen over Nevada skies. No sound. No visible markings. Gone in seconds. Years later, the world learned about the F-117 Nighthawk stealth fighter. And guess where it was tested? Area 51. But here's the real mystery. Former workers have come forward claiming underground facilities, reverse engineering programs, and technology decades ahead of its time. One name stands at the center of those claims. Bob Lazar. And his story would ignite the modern alien conspiracy movement forever. Bob Lazar, Reverse Engineering and the Alien Narrative. In 1989, a man stepped in front of a Las Vegas news camera and made a claim that would change the Area 51 story forever. His name was Bob Lazar. And he said he worked at a hidden facility called S4, just south of Area 51, near Papoose Lake. According to Lazar, this wasn't a testing site for American aircraft. It was a reverse engineering program. He claimed the US government had recovered 9 alien spacecraft and his job was to help figure out how they worked. He described a reactor powered by a mysterious element 115, capable of bending gravity itself. At the time, element 115 didn't officially exist. Years later, scientists would synthesize an element with atomic number 115, now known as moscovium. To believers, that was validation. To skeptics, it was coincidence. But Lazar didn't just talk about technology. He described security clearances so intense that even co-workers didn't know each other's real names. Hand scanners that measured bone density to grant access. Briefings that allegedly referenced extraterrestrial beings. And then something even stranger happened. The government said it had no record of his employment. No record of his education at MIT or Caltech. No record of him at Area 51. Almost as if he never existed. But reporters found old phone directories listing his name. Former colleagues said they remembered him. And pay stubs surfaced from a Navy-related contractor. So what's the truth? Was he a brilliant physicist exposing the biggest secret in American history? Or a talented storyteller who inserted himself into an already mysterious base? Here's what makes this powerful. The US government officially acknowledged Area 51 in 2013 through declassified CIA documents, but those documents only discussed the U-2 and A-12 spy planes. Nothing about S-4. Nothing about alien craft. Nothing about reverse engineering. And that silence keeps the mystery alive. Because when a government admits to lying for decades about one thing, it plants a seed. What else could still be classified? During the Cold War, psychological operations were common. Misdirection was strategy. Confusion was protection. Some researchers believe alien rumors were allowed, even encouraged, to distract from advanced stealth projects like the F-117 and the State Route 71. Others argue something deeper is hidden underground at Groom Lake. Then in 2017, the New York Times revealed the Pentagon had funded a secret UFO investigation program called ADIP. Suddenly, the conversation wasn't just conspiracy forums anymore. It was mainstream. Military pilots were reporting objects that defied known physics. And once again, Area 51 was back in the spotlight. But here's the chilling question. If Lazar fabricated everything, why does his story still align with modern discussions about unidentified aerial phenomena? And if he told the truth, why hasn't anyone officially disproven him with evidence? In a place built on secrecy, silence becomes fuel. And Area 51 was designed for silence. But what might be buried beneath the desert floor? Underground hangars? Advanced propulsion systems? Or simply decades of classified military innovation misinterpreted as alien? In Part 3, we uncover what former insiders, declassified documents, and modern Pentagon disclosures reveal, and whether the legend of Area 51 is closer to science fiction or strategic deception. Declassified files, Pentagon programs, and the modern truth. For decades, Area 51 was a rumor. Then in 2013, something changed. The Central Intelligence Agency quietly released declassified documents confirming the existence of Area 51 and detailing its role in testing the U-2 and A-12 spy planes. After years of denial, the government finally said, yes, it's real. But notice what they didn't say. Nothing about alien craft. Nothing about S-4. Nothing about underground laboratories. Just Cold War aircraft testing. To some Americans, that was the end of the mystery. To others, it was only proof that secrecy runs deep. Because here's the uncomfortable truth. Area 51 was never built to satisfy public curiosity. It was built to stay silent. The Pentagon steps in. In 2017, another bombshell dropped. The New York Times revealed that the Pentagon had been running a secret UFO investigation program called ADIP, the Advanced Aerospace Threat Identification Program. The funding came through the United States Department of Defense. Suddenly, this wasn't just late-night radio talk anymore. It was official. Navy pilots began speaking publicly about encounters with unidentified aerial phenomena, objects accelerating in ways that defied known physics. One of the most famous cases involved pilot David Fravor, who described a tic-tac-shaped object performing maneuvers no conventional aircraft could match. Radar confirmed it. Video captured it. The Pentagon authenticated it. And once again, Americans asked, if objects like that exist, where are they being studied? Some point back to Area 51. Others argue that Groom Lake's role today is likely advanced drone systems, next-generation stealth, hypersonic weapons, and classified aerospace projects, not alien spacecraft. And historically speaking, that explanation makes sense. Every time America developed a breakthrough aircraft, from the U-2 to the F-117, the public saw something strange in the sky first. Mystery always comes before disclosure. Why the alien story never dies. Here's something fascinating. During the Cold War, allowing alien rumors to spread may have actually protected national security. If the Soviet Union believed sightings were extraterrestrial, they weren't looking for stealth aircraft. Confusion was camouflage. Area 51 became the perfect myth. But secrecy creates a vacuum. And in a vacuum, stories grow. Over time, the base transformed from a testing facility into a cultural icon. Movies, documentaries, conspiracy theories. Area 51 stopped being just a location. It became a symbol. A symbol of what governments can hide. A symbol of how little the public truly knows about classified innovation. So, what really happened inside? Here's what history strongly supports. Revolutionary spy planes were built there. Stealth technology was perfected there. Experimental aircraft decades ahead of public knowledge were tested there. UFO sightings were often misidentified military projects. Here's what remains unproven. Recovered alien spacecraft. Reverse-engineered extraterrestrial technology. Contact with non-human intelligence. Could there still be secrets buried beneath the Nevada desert? Absolutely. But history suggests those secrets are likely technological, not extraterrestrial. And maybe that's even more impressive. Because the real story of Area 51 isn't about little green men. It's about human ambition. It's about fear during the Cold War. Innovation under pressure. And a government willing to let myths grow to protect its edge. Final thought. Area 51 teaches us something powerful. When secrecy meets imagination, legend is inevitable. The base was real. The projects were real. The lies were real. But the alien narrative? That remains in the shadows. And maybe that's exactly where it was meant to stay.